I know you have potatoes like these hanging around in your pantry. Let me show you how you can transform these potatoes from a very simple recipe into something you can elevate in an instant. We're going to start off by peeling off the potatoes. Once we peel the potatoes, we're going to go ahead and do a medium dice here. We're just looking for uniformity, just so that when you cook the potatoes, they cook evenly all the way through. You are going to need half an onion here. To the onion, we're going to simply peel it, cut both ends off. Now here's the secret to the onion, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to cut it along those lines that you see there. A lot of people cut them across first, and that gives a different texture to the onion, and it's unpleasant to the mouth. So cutting it this way doesn't give you that flimsy texture of the onion. Now once you dice them up or cut them up, we're going to add these to the sauce pot or the pot that you chose on top of the potatoes. Keeping the simplicity theme going on here, we just season with salt and black pepper because we're going to add something special. First, I started with beef tallow. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to sweat the potatoes and the onions. I don't want them to get any color. I just want the onion to release some of that nice sweetness, that beautiful aroma, and become translucent. Now here's a special ingredient. If you didn't watch our last video, I showed you how to make chicken bouillon, and that's what we're adding to this. Tons of flavor in that. Also, we're going to add water to this. Just enough to cover the potatoes and the onions here. Once we've added the water, we're going to set the fire to about medium heat, and we're going to cover them. In about 12 to 15 minutes, we're going to check the potatoes. How do you know the potatoes are ready? Well, they have to be fork tender. So what does that mean? You stick a fork in them. If it goes in easily and comes out easily, they're ready. Now this is a very, very simple soup, so plating is simple as well. Go ahead and plate this. For a little bit of more brightness, both in color and in flavor, you can add cilantro tips, even a piece of serrano or 2 or 3, depending on how you tolerate heat. Now, as great as this recipe is, you can actually elevate it in a moment's notice. So to transform this recipe, what I'm simply going to do is take a pan, add some fat. I use beef tallow here, not a surprise, and I'm going to add chorizo. Please don't buy that tube chorizo. That's full of like oils and fats and all kinds of things that you can't pronounce. It has 0 meat in there, or probably does have some meat, but it's not 100%. So I went to my local carnicero and they have great chorizo. I just simply took it off the casing and put it on the pan. It's important to break up the chorizo so that the heat travels nice and evenly all the way through. Once it renders all the fat like this, we're going to add the onions that we diced up earlier. Once the onions are added, we're going to go ahead and move and toss this around. All we want is for the onions to become translucent and begin absorbing some of that chorizo flavor. It took me about 2 to 3 minutes for them to get to this point right here. Nice, sweet, and translucent. Now imagine you have an unexpected guest and you want to impress them and you have some leftover soup from the night before. You're simply going to take that soup and you're going to go ahead and insert the immersion blender and blend the soup. We're not looking for perfectly smooth pureed soup here. We do want to leave a couple chunks here and there for texture and to remind them that this is papas. Why papas? Because this is a play on papas con chorizo. Now we don't want it to be as stiff as mashed potatoes. We want it to be slightly runny like this. And you can actually just place a piece of meat here like a steak, chicken. But our theme is papas con chorizo, so we're doing chorizo. And look at those beautiful chunks. Those specks right there are from the bouillon, which is packed with flavor. Just a reminder, it's great to buy all those store-bought stuff like bouillon and all that. But when you make it homemade, it just gives you that extra level, that elevated feel, taste, look. I mean, come on, you can't beat that. So now I'm shaking it off a little bit just to kind of let the potato soup settle a little bit here so we can place the chorizo. I'm placing the chorizo right in the center of this plate, just right in the middle. Cooking the chorizo released some of that beautiful fat that it has, along with some of that onion flavor, and we're going to use that to drizzle all over the potato. I'm garnishing with cilantro, and again, if you learned something, please like and subscribe, and please share my videos. Let me know how this turns out for you in the comment section.